aka the Onto Dragons. I don't know why I started on that. Welcome to the Breakup Diaries. I have an amazing guest with me today. Terry Little, will you please introduce yourself for the camera?
Hey, my name is Terry. I am the founder of the Common Sense Show TV. I have dubbed myself the Common Sense Guru because I try to dish out as much common sense as I can because the world's in trouble. I promise you. So yeah, that's it. I'm live here in Twin Falls, Idaho. I'm just trying to make a living.
Where did you get the name the Common Sense TV show from?
Oh,
Was that the original name, or did you change it at some
no,
point?
that was the original name.
Okay.
What happened was I realized in my process of doing my work over the years, I realized that I didn't use enough common sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to one of my best friends. Her name is Kenya, and she said, "Boy, you just don't have no common sense. You should do something with that. You write a book. No, you say, tell me I'm so stupid. I should write a book." And so,
That's nice.
and I mean, that's my friend, and she didn't mind telling me the business. And so that's kind of how it was hatched in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything with it until I moved out here to Idaho in 2016, and I just started doing little shows or little Facebook lives in my basement.
Wait, what?
Facebook lives.
Since you were 16 years old?
No, 2016 when I moved out here. and and so once we moved out here, I started doing little Facebook lives in my basement on my tripod, and I just called it the Common Sense Show. And then it kind of grew into that, and I went from in my basement on my phone to now sitting in front of you like this now with a podcast and still writing the book, but I'm about halfway through it. So,
what was the very first episode about?
Ooh.
Ooh.
because it was someone. Oh my god! I want to say my first episode was. Dang, actually, you asked that. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. I've had some. Because at first it started out as like little sound bites, and then my first full-fledged episode was called, I think it was either Revolve or Repeat. I think that was the title of it. Evolve or Repeat. And that's you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll try to some more Disney stuff. So yeah, I think it was Evolve or Repeat.
You have a really good ear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what at any how do I phrase this? So you've been doing this for like going on 3 years now.
Mm.
Was there ever a point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, nothing's working, like, and then / how do you motivate yourself to keep going?
Oh God. Oh, let's see. Well, let me give you a little bit of backdrop. Okay. When I first started on social media, period, I was on an app called Periscope. And at that time I was going through a breakup, and I listened on Periscope for about a year before I even did anything on that particular app.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that app for a little while, met a lot of great people, moved out here. I stopped doing social media. When I left North Carolina to move out here, I started doing social media for like a couple of months. And then I started doing the Common Sense Show. I stopped doing that.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I birthed this baby about 4 or 5 times already. And
wow.
And the reason why was because I got to the point where I cared about numbers. I cared about who's watching. This is how I learned so much about social media because, the old rule is if you don't get them in the first 30 seconds, what's up, y'all? You don't give them the first 30 seconds, that they won't stay or whatever. And so I cared about the numbers. The numbers kept me from doing it. So I just gave up and said, you know what? No, I don't want to do this no more. And so I stopped it, dropped it, stopped it, dropped it, stopped it, dropped it like 3 times until this last time was like, you know what? I'm not dropping it this time. This is what I'm going to do. And here I am with a podcast, an almost book, and here I am. I've made it. I've made it.
Is the title of your book The Knucklehead Chronicles?
It is.
Okay.
It is, yes.
No,
And
is it deep?
it's pretty deep. It starts from when I turned 16, and when I first found out that my father, that the man that raised me, wasn't my dad. And how, yeah, and how I went from that to being rebellious, mad at my mama. You know, all of my relationship hijinks, the cheating and the lying and manipulating and all that good stuff, and jet setting and driving from and going from North Carolina to Chicago and back. And ooh, I even got an old lady in there in the book too. Yeah,
An
yeah,
old lady? What do
an
you
old
mean?
lady. Yeah, I was when I left my first wife. You have to read this. So I have it on podcast too,
Yes.
right? But I left my first wife and ended up with a lady who was 26 years my senior. My senior, I said.
How old were
And,
you?
22.
Oh, that's not.
Okay, no. I was 22. She was 26 years my senior,
Mm-hmm.
not 26.
Yeah.
26.
Well, she's 40. She was 40.
Yeah, I had no idea. And so I went through a whole 5 years of nonsense with her.
Uh-huh.
And I said, why? Why I do that? But it was progression, because had I not gone through it, I wouldn't be the man that I am today. So
What was that climactic point in your life that you were like, okay, I need to get things together? Because there's always that one moment. Or was it more like, like what was that one moment that you like that was like, okay, I need to shift things right now?
That came from me when I was living in a hotel.
Okay.
And I was working full time, but I could not pay my hotel rent for whatever reason. And the fact that I couldn't figure that out was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? You know.
Yeah.
And the moment for me was when I came home from work one night and I couldn't get my hotel room. They wouldn't give me the key. I hadn't paid anything. That's probably why I couldn't get in my hotel room.
Yeah.
But that was that moment that said, wow, I really need to do something, better. And for me, I started making little strides here and there to say, okay, this is my issue. I need to figure this out. I need to write this down. But that moment when I could not get back in my hotel room, that was it.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So the tagline of the Common Sense TV show is elevate. Oh God, I knew I should have written it down. What is it again? It's elevate and
the last episode was elevate. Elevation requires separation. That was the last one.
Oh yes. The last episode.
Yeah.
So could you give us a summary on that episode? Because that was really, really, really powerful. What did you talk about in that episode?
What I meant to when I want to bring across in that particular episode is that sometimes in our life, when we're trying to get to someplace, you look around and you realize that the same people that you rode with before aren't with you now.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you decide to say, I'm going to be a better version of me, some folks can't go with you because some folks revel in your damage. Some folks revel in your downfall. They like, I love him because his ideology was crazy. But when you start to elevate and be a better person, they can't go with you. So sometimes in life, when you're going to be a CEO or author or a podcaster or a live streamer or whatever, when you start to elevate, people that used to go with you can't go. They can't go with you. So that was what I wanted to try to relay in that particular episode, was that sometimes elevation does require separation. Like I said in the live, was that I tell my kids all the time, if you look in your circle, if you become the brightest star in your circle, it's time to change circles. And so, because it's always about elevation and progression and all that good stuff. Yeah, that was what I wanted to relay.
Is there someone in particular who you were like? Was there a friend or a family member that you had to drop that was really hard for you?
I had to drop some cousins. I had to drop.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Sorry.
So I had dropped some cousins. I mean, I still love them. We're still family. But I just didn't flow with them in a certain way anymore. And sometimes what'll happen is in life, you will see how people move, and then you'll realize I don't move that way anymore. Like I don't I don't roll like that. And so you just kind of move yourself out of the situation. So it's not like I cut them off per se, but it's just that I don't move the way they move anymore. If that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah. It does for sure. Where are you from?
I am from North Carolina. I am from a small town. If you know anything about North Carolina, Charlotte is the biggest main city, right?
Yeah.
My hometown is about 75 miles east of Charlotte, called Waysboro. So anybody's watching this from Waysboro, what's up? It's Cameron. That's what one little one horse town. We got a Walmart. We got a Burger King. We don't have a Popeyes or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But still home. You know, I miss home. Some days I have my days when I get home.
Do you visit often?
The last time I was home was a couple of years ago, when we took a family trip. I see my grandson for the first time.
Ah,
yeah.
How many grandkids do you have?
Three actually.
What? Terry, how old are you?
44.
You're young.
Yeah. So guess what I was doing at 15?
You're so silly. Oh, someone said they're from Statesville. Do you know where that is?
Yes, Statesville is it's somewhere near there, up there, right by Charlotte. How you read your comments on Facebook or YouTube?
So you can't see them. Help me, please.
I can't see them.
You can?
Oh, no, I can't. I don't need to because you're the producer, so you're gonna see everything.
Cool.
I ain't got to see them. I only see the ones you post to the page.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'll say them out loud.
Yeah.
As they pop up, or I'll just do the show. Okay. Keep going. I'll cut you off.
Yes, keep going.
So you have 3 grandkids. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids. I have 2 girls.
Okay.
Taniqua and Brianna.
Okay.
Brianna will be 23 on her birthday, and Nick is 26 on her birthday.
And then you have the little one.
TJ, yeah, he's 2. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have a host of other children that I raise and take care of, but Zariah and Javante are 2 that I raised. So I call them mine. They didn't come from my loins, but they're mine.
So why are you a Bulls fan?
when I made that Periscope, I was a Bulls fan at the time. No, I did not call you. Yeah. All right. So when I made he walked in here. He walked in here knowing that I'm live, and so I was a big Michael Jordan fan.
Okay.
And I still follow him from time to time. I'm not really a Bulls. I mean, I am a Bulls fan. Don't get it twisted. I am a Bulls fan, but yeah, I did that when I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
That's so funny. So what I love about the Common Sense TV show is like you talk about current event topics, and you usually go live every day on Periscope, but then you have your main episode every Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the last episode was titled "What is Going On? What is Happening?" Forgive me, I'm paraphrasing. And this was the day after the shootings.
Oh yeah, that's when. What was it all about? I can't remember what it was, but I remember doing a Periscope that Sunday with the Thunder Crew, and I was talking about that because these shootings are just outlandish. They're getting crazy about it. With every incident, the situation gets weirder and weirder and weirder. Like, why would you? But one of the things that upset me was that this young man got to walk away. Mm-hmm. And after killing 20 people. He gets to walk away when Eric Garner, who was selling loose cigarettes outside of a New York store, gets choked out and dies, and nobody, they fired the cop 5 years later, but what good is that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it just, yeah, I was spirited that night for real. I was feeling away because you had the shooting in El Paso, you had a shooting in Brooklyn, and then you had stuff that go down in Chicago and Navy Pier. I mean, it was just a lot of stuff, and it's just so sad. Like, our young men are just losing their lives for no reason. Then I was reading a story the other day about two young men who went to a party and a fight broke out at the party.
Okay.
Shots rang out, and nobody got hurt, nobody got shot, nothing like that. But these two young men who got into the fight actually went to prison. The prosecutors wanted to make an example out of them. So one kid who didn't shoot anybody, who didn't hurt anybody, got 177 years.
What?
177 years.
What?
Yeah. And he didn't do anything. The other kid got 2 life sentences plus 20 years or something like that.
They're teenagers.
Teenagers, 17 years old.
And where was this? New York?
I saw the ad went around. There was a video that was going viral on Facebook. Everybody was just sending it via inbox. And so this is fairly recent, a couple months ago, maybe. I haven't really done any research on it, but I did read about these two young men who, 17 years old, 177 years, really? Come on, really?
Yeah, that's something like they would sentence a serial killer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and didn't shoot or kill anybody.
Yeah, that's so funny that you bring that. This is random, but it's not random. So, do you know who Meek Mill is?
I do.
Did you see the documentary that they're I think it's either on Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Mm-mm.
So he went to jail for selling drugs, as a teenager. So did you know that he's been on probation for the past 9 years?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow,
and
really?
It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. And he's had the same judge the entire time. And the last time he got in trouble, which he's a rapper, he's a performer, he's going to travel, but his major slip was that he wasn't letting them know that he was traveling, Well,
that's kind of one of the
he went to jail for 6 months, 9 months, I don't remember.
I think it's 6 months.
But yeah, it's interesting that you say that because that's really been stirring my mind all weekend.
It's just crazy. The justice system isn't for us.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't for us. And as you can see, if you watch the news, you see the other races that commit crimes. They're either getting carted off to go to Burger King after a shooting, or whatever. Here's my thing, and I don't mind anybody having assault rifles or whatever, but like I tell anybody that loves guns, is what do you do the AK-47 for? What are you hunting with the AK-47?
Are you a gun owner?
No. I would own one, but I would own one to protect my family. I don't hunt. You know what I'm saying? But
in Idaho? No.
Hunting, of course. I don't, because I'm black, baby. We don't. Let's be but no.
Harry, you can't say that.
That's always my excuse. Like when Melissa say, let's go camping. I'm like, baby, we don't go camping. I'm black. I don't go camping. That's always my excuse, but I always end up going or whatever. But
you've been camping before?
Camping's cool, yeah.
I've never gone camping before. I really, really want to. I really want to go hunting, which sounds like totally not me, but I really, really want to.
That would trip me all the way out to see you hunt something, or even go camping. Camping is not for the faint of heart, baby.
We have a huge gator overpopulation here in Florida. Bless you.
Yeah.
And so my friend's coworker goes gator hunting on the weekends, and I'm like, take me. I want to go.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Thanks for the invite. But I'm good. No, absolutely not.
You're so funny. Okay. So a topic I really, really want to talk about with you, which I love. You go live we get some context for people who don't know. So how Terry and I know each other is we're a part of this group called the Social Builders Club, founded by Eddie Walker, Anthony Walker, and we go live. He goes live every weekday, but then we both go live 2 to 3 days. It depends on the spirits and all that stuff. So I love when you go live because you're just like, I'm just gonna tell it like it is today. But you do that every day though.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
You plan you obviously have an idea what you're gonna talk about, but do you
I don't.
No, you don't?
I don't.
Hey, don't do that.
When I sit down, I don't. when I sit down, especially in the, like when we do Brothers of Legacy in the morning, when I sit down and go live, when I hit that live button, I have no idea 2 seconds before I hit it what I'm gonna talk about. I don't.
No, you're lying.
No. And so, and sometimes, and if you've been following for a little while,
Yeah.
What I'll do is I kind of ramble for like the first 2 or 3 minutes, and then the spirit will kick in, and then boom, I'm off to the races. But that comes from me not having anything written down on any kind of paraphrasing notes or whatever like that. When I hit go live, I have no idea. I promise you, every time I go live, I have no idea.
You're so silly.
I want to talk about, but but that's changing because I was trying to get my podcasting and syndication oriented radio, and the person that listened to my podcast was like, "Yeah, no, you ain't ready yet." You know,
well, I heard some words about that too.
Yeah, and
let's talk about that.
Okay.
So first off, the top of the mountain is the reason why I brought up the Common Sense Show was to say that your weekly topics, it feels like a radio show.
Yeah, really kind of what I wanted to be. Yeah, that's kind of
is that your intention?
Yeah, that's kind of the aim, because I just want to be on the Common Sense Show. I want to be informative. I want to make sure I bring as much information to the people as I can. That's the reason why I have panels and guests. And sometimes I do the show by myself, which is fine. I can do it by myself. I do it by myself for but it's just much better, and it flows better when I have guests. But that was the gist, is to put it as a radio show format. And then I do a podcast, an audio only podcast too, during the week. But that is kind of, I'm getting that back out there too. But
because I was gonna say, it reminds me of the Breakfast Club.
Kind of, yeah.
With Charming the God, but less silly.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're bad.
It's too silly sometimes. I'm like, okay, can you get to the point? Like I feel like you're very good at like getting the information and education out there. Because sometimes I'll be driving in the morning and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like listening to a motivational video. What's happening in the world? So I'll put that on, and I'm like, this is just too early for this nonsense. Yeah,
crazy.
But okay, so you had an incident where you were reaching out for exposure, or?
Oh yeah, so I got a friend of mine name's Ricky, and Ricky was like, really is a supporter. He has his own podcast. Shout out to Pipe Bomb, his podcast, and he was like, "Yo, your content is dope. I'm gonna put you up with somebody who can get you on radio." I'm like, all right, cool. And so she reaches out, and she's like, well, send me a couple of clips. And I sent her a couple of videos. I said, well, I went from audio to live stream. She's like, well, give me a couple of live streams. I was okay, cool. Yeah. And I got a couple of live streams, and she was like, yeah, no, you ain't ready yet. Just, you need to do some editing.
What?
Yeah, you're not good for radio right now. And I was like, all right, okay, I'll try. I was low key crushed though. I ain't gonna front, but it kind of pushed me into this place to where, okay, now maybe I should look at things a little bit better.
True.
Set up an intro, write some points down, and it flowed a lot better, because it's one word in the English language that will kill a podcast quick.
What?
It is yeah, and that'll kill a podcast quick. And so that's one of the things that I'm learning. And so when you're doing a podcast, it's gotta be, and you gotta be going the whole night. And the word kills it every time. So she was like, you said, and I gave her one clip. She said, you said 25 times in that little clip that I had. And I was like, okay.
But see, I have feelings about that though.
I do too.
Because it's just your mind processing thought, and it just shows that you're being more authentic rather than scripted. You know, I'd rather have at least 2 or 3 rather than 0 at all in the whole thing. Yeah. But whatever. She, whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, what you said to me was a couple of don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? But when you do it multiple times, though, I mean, it's like 25 times in the course of a 4 or 5 minute clip. That's too many. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But low key as a man, being real, it hurt. I was like, ooh, You not long been building this? You gonna tell me who is it? So right away, so right away we get into this. Who do you think you're talking to? You know what I'm saying? What you're not gonna do? Yeah. So we got to that. So it was great. It was great.
That's so funny.
I'm learning. I'm learning. So basically, what I do is like on my shows on Sunday. My show is more stream. You know, I kind of I put in an intro, put in some overlays, make it look pretty. You know, that's kind of what I do on my Sunday shows. Now, when I'm live, like on Facebook or Periscope, I don't go through all that.
Yeah.
But on Sundays, when I do my show, that is when my Sunday show and my podcast, I make sure I take that format up a little bit. I can't wing it. But yeah.
But I think your weekday life feels more like sit down on the couch with me and like talk with me.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to convey.
That's the feeling that I want. Yeah.
Well, you're doing it.
Yeah, because I also the conversation show goes live on Mondays and Tuesdays as well, on the Ordinary People Media, and so I'm trying to get my name out there, trying to branch out into different networks and things, and so I go live on Mondays and Tuesdays as well. But those shows are hard for me, and I'll tell you why they're hard for me, because trying to get people to interact during the week for me is difficult.
Yeah.
Now on a Sunday, I'm good, but on a Monday or a Tuesday, and they're live shows, so it's not like, it's like pre-recorded and then I upload it. It's like live shows. It's hard. It's discouraging some days. It's like, you know what? Let me cut this show off. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. And hang up. But it's just real. It's social media is hard. It's hard. And I've been watching your lives for a long time too.
Oh.
And it says, yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
I'm just really talking to myself.
Yeah, you had a couple of lives that you freaked yourself out on. And I was like, okay, calm down, Ashley.
I'm always surprised when people are like there. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna talk to myself because I'm going through some things.
You gotta tuck yourself out. Think about when people see. I want you to take this for example. When people say, "Why are you talking to yourself?" Right? That's what you tell them. You say, "I'm self-employed. I'm having a staff."
Yeah. I love that. Oh, where's my phone?
Exactly.
Okay. So the reason why I brought that up is because you were talking about something not this past weekend, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when. How you saw an article that said, who's the dude who dated the Kardashians?
Lamar. Yeah, Lamar. No. Yeah, Lamar.
Yes.
Lamar Odom. Yeah.
There's an article that said that since he's dating a Black woman now, he's got his life back together. And you had some things about that, and I really, really, really wanted you to elaborate on it.
Okay.
So can you talk to us about interracial dating?
Let me hunker in here.
Let me give you my backstory. All my life, I did nothing but Black guys, and my longest relationship, which is what inspired this channel, was with the white guy. And that one guy, that one time, not like everyone just knew me as a girl who doesn't date Black guys, and I'm like, that's completely false,
right?
And like, and I still hear it now from friends. They're like, oh, it's a white guy, you like him? I'm like, no, I like all guys. I don't care what you look like. Right. So that's my story with it. What's yours?
My story is kind of simple. No, it's not. Well, maybe a little bit. Okay, so here is me. It didn't matter what color you were.
Yeah.
Black, white, green, blue, and then maybe if you're blue, I wouldn't date you. But we're white or black. It didn't matter to me. And so I've dated and married Black women all my life. Right. So I was married twice before.
Twice.
2 Black women. Loved them. They hated me. It's kind of what it was. And so my second marriage had me end up in Chicago.
Okay.
And that's where I met Melissa. And I met Melissa. And the very first time that I saw her, I automatically knew that I would be with her. I didn't know how. I didn't know how because we was at different places in our lives. She was a party girl. I was in between, you know, and but we always kept in touch on Facebook or whatever over the years. And I just knew she was the one. Now I don't, you know, I think I saw other black women. It didn't, don't bother me, but it's the fact that I met her. We fell in love. We started dating in a long distance, and then we decided to be together. Period.
How long were you guys dating for?
We dated. Oh my god, I wish she was in here. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting that. Like women keep track, and guys,
we really don't.
I keep forgetting that.
We really don't. But we moved out here in 2016. We got married a couple months ago, so 3 years, and then we got married. Hey, son. they let him.
So
yeah.
Do you feel / hear the judgment from people?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, let's go back a step because
Okay.
It took you 3 years to marry her. Yeah, I'm saying why I did because I was still legally married to my second wife. So that's the reason why I couldn't marry her. I would have married her sooner, but I was still legally married to my second wife, and so we had to get a divorce. I had to divorce her and all that good stuff, and then we was able to get married. And so, all right. And so, what was the question?
Do you feel / hear judgment
every day
from people?
Every day. Well, it's not as bad here. We still get the looks like, what are you doing with her? Because there's not a lot of
really.
Oh yeah, like there's not a lot of African Americans here. A lot of refugees from Somalia here in Nigeria. Really? Yeah.
Why that's random? Why is that?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. That was it when I got here. I think it's one of those landing spots for a lot of refugees.
Interesting, because in my city, there's a lot of Albanians and Turkish people.
Oh yeah, see, we got Turkish here too. Turkish, Nigerians, Somalians.
Interesting.
I met a couple of folks from the Congo here.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, that's a very diverse.
It's pretty diverse, but they ain't black. They ain't live my black. You know what I'm saying? And so I get those looks like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with her? Like, I'm like, cause I love her. That's why. She the bomb.com. What? She got pretty eyes. Don't be mad. Don't be hating. She got pretty eyes and you don't. How you sound? But anyway, that is we still get that from time to time, but it's not as bad. If we go up toward northern Idaho, that's when it gets tricky because northern Idaho is home of the skinheads and all that good stuff. So we don't go up that way no more. You say south.
Is Idaho a red state or a blue state?
Which one's Republican? Which one's Republican? Red?
Oh, you're so silly.
Are they a red state?
Yeah.
Okay. whichever state Republican is, I think, for the most part. And there are a lot of great people here, but you see a lot of Confederate flags.
Yeah.
You see a lot of the people love their Second Amendment right to carry. You'll see that.
Oh, I think you were talking about that once on the. Dude, you usually talk about the coolest stuff on the morning. I always look forward to hearing yours.
You should watch.
Not to knock the other guys, but you're just more like, well, what happened my day yesterday?
Yeah. And I try to speak real life, right? I mean, I love my brothers, and they're more spiritually rooted than me. So I'm spiritually rooted as well. But you got Pastor Brian, Javale, who's a pastor, Dwayne, who's a pastor, and you got AD, who's studying to be a pastor. So they're more spiritually diverse than me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, AD in the word now. He can
tell me nothing. We talk every day, but he don't tell me nothing.
And so I try to speak real life. It was just like the incident that happened just recently. Is that I don't know if you was in the scope on Tuesday. Were you? And I was talking about you are what you eat. I was like, you are what you eat, and you have to be careful what you talk about or say to people. And sometimes you got to shed people from your life, losing weight, all that stuff. It's spiritual weight. But it was funny how I was talking about that on Tuesday, and 2 hours after I got that scope, I got fired from my job.
Terry.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. So it was just, and I was upset about that. Part of me still upset about that, but it was just like he had purposed me to do something else. This is what I understand. And because I've really been bold in declaring stuff in people's lives and being, I won't say prophetic, but trying to help other folks by just giving them the real. I feel like the enemy has attacked or tried to attack. It took my job from me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not bitter. I was for about 2 days. I was bitter, but it is what it is. But when I talk to people, I give them real life. I give them, this is what happened to me. This is how now, because this happened to you, now you can bounce back from it. Watch God work. That's kind of my thing.
How do you, because I feel like you're holding it together really well right now.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good with that.
Or, okay, are you good? Or are you doing the guy, macho, alpha, like,
no.
I'm going to go punch a wall after this?
No. I wanted to. I'm going to be real with you. Tuesday and Wednesday were really hard for me. Really hard for me. But I thank God for a praying wife. Because if it wasn't for her, I probably would have lost my whole intellectual being if it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
She kept me off the ledge and was like, you know what? It's not worth it. This is what, there's something in this God wants you to learn. It's a lesson in he wants you to learn. He's different places. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I would have lost it. I really would have lost it. But, be it, Thursday and Friday, we actually went to the races last night, which is for me calming.
The races?
Yeah, watching race cars go on the track. That's fun, man.
They're making a left. I've never done that before.
What? Yeah, they have a small track here in Twin Falls, and it's fun. It really is fun.
Really?
Yeah,
I gotta try that.
And so for me, it was that calming. Okay, this is what God has for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if this interview was held on Wednesday, yeah, it wouldn't be. I'd have been trying to hold it together. But after almost a week, it's like, you know what? What can I do? One thing that I've learned in this life in 44 years on this rock is that some things in life you can control, others you can't. And so you just have to roll with however it falls. You know what I mean? So that's me.
And what I've been learning the past year, God, it's already almost September, is that stress comes from trying to control things that are beyond your control.
Exactly right. So that's why the job that I had, it was a great job with Samsung. I loved it. I was part of the SEC program inside of Best Buy. But I also knew that I'm also a third-party contractor. And all it would have took is one phone call. And it was like, yeah, you got to go. That's kind of what happened.
So is that why you know so much about technology?
Girl, I've been doing technology phones forever.
Wow.
I worked for Verizon some years ago. Sprint. I love phones. My personal phone's a Samsung, so I know a lot of stuff from just doing tinkering around with computers and for years. Yeah, I'm not the most knowledgeable person to ever meet, but I know my stuff.
What? Are you kidding? Like, you have to teach me how to do this. Like, you know who you remind me of? It's so funny, and I think this is why I like you. You remind me of my brother, my big brother.
Oh,
yeah. You look like him too.
My brother? Oh, your brother, really?
Yeah. Because he's really big into tech and stuff too. So that's so funny. I text him, he didn't text me back. We very rarely talk.
Really? Why is that?
There's a huge age gap between us. He is 42.
Terry, come here. Come here. They know I'm live.
That's okay. It's totally okay. It happens.
Come here. Yeah, he's pissed off now. So I don't know where his mama went. Hold on. Can I mute my mic? Hold on one second.
Okay, go ahead. I want to tweet what you said. So what I do try to do with my interviews is get a memorable quote from them, and then I'll tweet the quote with the link of the live. And what was it that he said? When you're talking to yourself, tell people that you're self-employed, and I love that. And then I'll tweet that afterwards. Yay, documenting. So what I'm using right now is
Yeah. I don't know what this is about. Anyway, these kids know I'm live. I tell them.
Do you know who Hannibal Buress is? I'm pretty sure I butchered his name. Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress, the football player?
Buress. No, the comedian.
Oh yeah. I heard his name.
Did you see his stand-up where he was like, I don't get why kids cry. They cry when they're tired. Then just go to sleep.
That's kind of what it is. He's pissed off. He's good and mad right now. I'm not sure what happened to his mother. She was at the door and she just dipped out on me. Anyway.
What's it like raising a kid all over again?
God. That's a question that I get a lot. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I may. It's not like it's the first time raising a kid.
Yeah.
It is. It is actually the first time raising a kid. Because when my daughters were born, I wasn't prevalent. I wasn't in their life like that. So I didn't get to see first steps. I didn't get to see because I was young and dumb and making stupid decisions, and I wasn't really a part of their life. So I didn't get to experience any of that. But with TJ, I was able to, throughout the whole thing, the whole pregnancy, labor pains, all that good stuff, and him being born.
Did you feel pains too?
Hmm?
Did you feel sympathy pains?
No.
No? Okay.
I felt that got on my nerve pain, but you know.
Did you gain weight with her too?
Yeah, I've been fat all my lifetime. I don't know.
You've been Terry.
I couldn't tell you. Maybe. I'm good. 100. You see me in this camera? I ain't skinny.
No, you lost weight though. Honestly, you look super slim right now.
The camera takes away 20 pounds.
You're so silly. No, have you been working out?
I'm sorry?
Have you been working out?
No. My forearms are bigger than anything.
You're so silly. Oh my God, I can't take you seriously. So I feel like we AD and I were talking about this on our live together.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to say it's a black boy problem. I think it's a boy problem in general right now, where boys feel like they're not being heard, So what advice / observations do you see with men / boys right now, and how would you want to contribute to that, even though I know that you currently are, but can continue to elaborate on that?
Okay. Well, what we try to do is what I observe with a lot of young men these days is that
young men, yes,
they don't know a lot, and trying to get them to listen is the hardest part.
Yeah.
And so we have to kind of hammer the message home every chance we get to tell it. Because there are young men right now that are probably going to watch this because it says Breakup Diaries and probably watch it and go, I don't even know how to tie a tie or conduct themselves in an interview or, the proper way to approach a woman. Because the first thing I notice about men in this generation is that they love saying, "What's up, shawty? What up, mama?" That's not her name. That's it. We really learn how to do that. Once we learn how to get to that, we'll be okay. So My observation is that if more men stepped up to be mentors to these young men, I think we have a different generation. Now, there are a lot of men's groups around this country that are helping their community or whatever. But the thing with men actually is that men don't want to collaborate.
You think so?
Oh no, men don't want to collaborate. Look on social. Let's start social media. Look on that. If you hear the word, if you've been on Periscope for a little while, if you hear the word Perry Girls, what do you think?
Perry Girl?
Perry Girls, yeah, that's a group on Periscope of about 10,000 women
Oh
that
wow.
smoke and all that, right? How many men's groups have you heard on social media? Don't worry, I'll wait. Right.
Well,
We don't
other than the two main ones who hate women.
right. See, that's not even the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but men don't want to. They don't want to cooperate for some reason. I don't know if it's an ego thing. I think for the most part, it's an ego thing because we don't want nobody to steal our thunder. You know, first of all, here's my thing. I don't have any thunder for you to steal. We are here to help you jump in.
Ooh, damn. Ooh.
So
I'm tweeting that one too.
I'm just saying. I don't have any. Go ahead. Let's help these young men though.
That's a very interesting observation because I say all the time that women hate women. It's
right.
so hard to be friends with women. That's not on a superficial thing.
Right.
You know?
I can't understand that. Why don't y'all like? I don't understand that.
Oh my God, it's so petty. I work with all women, and it's just like the tension is so. My friend will come into my job and he'll be like, "Why don't y'all like each other?" I'm like,
it'll make you go, like, really? Why don't you like me? I didn't do anything to you. But what I've learned in this social media game, especially with men, we ain't trying to help each other.
Interesting.
Like I said, we have, one brother can have a huge following, and you can reach out to that person. You'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't need no help." I've experienced that. I've reached out to people who've had followings or semi followings, and they were like, "Nah, we good. We need no help with that. We all right."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what? But how many can we help these young men though?
Yeah.
Can we get together and get our stuff together and help these young men who can't do a job interview?
Yeah.
They walking up in there with the pants sagging, holes in the jeans, do a job interview. One of the things I want to teach young men is, as far as jobs are concerned, you don't dress for the job you want. No, you don't do the job you have, just for the job you want. So go in there and present yourself great. But these young, I don't know.
My huge issue is because my main government job is the service industry. That's how I pay my taxes. Is I bartend / serve, and it always frustrates me when kids / teenagers don't look at me in the eye.
Ooh,
that's just basic. That's just super basic. And the parents will just order for them. Like, no. They can talk for themselves. They can read for themselves. Like, you have to let them do it for themselves, because eventually they're going to go to college or whatever. They're going to move out and they don't know how to talk to people.
Right.
Learn
how to communicate.
They don't know how to communicate.
Learn a level of respect.
Yeah.
Learn that. I think I talked about that a lot on the earlier days of on my earlier days of the Conversation Show. I talk about that is respect, because you talk to women like you want somebody to talk to your mama. That's kind of how we have to live that way. And none of us don't. They want to walk around and calling our young women bees, and this is a phrase that's bothered me all summer long. This whole hot girl summer leads to a pregnant girl winter and a single mother fall or whatever. And I'm like, to even have that thought or meme out here lets me know that you shouldn't be dealing with that joke.
Keep it to mind what's in the media, who our idols are, who these young men and young women are looking up to, and I think it's very disturbing because I love Cardi B. Like I blast her music all the time, but like I understand that I don't want to follow the same path that she went on, and I think that a lot of young girls get that.
I like her. I like Cardi.
I love Cardi. I love her. I think she's so charismatic. I think she's such a hard worker, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be her, you know?
Right. You got that, and then you have now. I'm not knocking 50 Cent and all those guys over there at Power. I mean, but you have a show like Power, and these kids watch this show and they want to be Tariq, and they want to be, and I'm like,
for someone who doesn't have cable, can you tell us what Power is? I know of it. I know that it's in competition with
you not reading comments right now? You not getting any comments about that?
You're so silly. No, I'm not. Power and Empire.
Empire, yeah, all those kind of shows. Power is a show is produced by 50 Cent, the rapper. Okay.
Oh, I thought that was so random that you said that. I was like, what does 50 Cent to do with Power? Okay.
But yeah, and so Power is about this guy. He used to be a dope dealer, turned legal, and he's Omari Hardwick plays yeah, I bet you do. And so, but he plays Ghost, right? He's kind of the big guy, and then 50 Cent plays a character. So, a white guy named Tommy. Ghost has had a family with a son and a daughter. It's a long drawn out type of deal. I stopped watching like season 2, but I know that his daughter got shot and killed.
Oh,
he went on revenge, and so everybody want to play cops. Everybody want to play the drug dealer, the bad guy, in these movies, in these shows, and not really have any substance. Because I want to be like Tariq, I want to be like Ghost. No, bro, get an education, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Not education, education. It's education, because we're falling short, and there's so many other things that we can learn how to do, like be a parent. So let's be honest, because I wasn't.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to be a parent through the experiences with TJ. I learned how to be a parent. I didn't know how. I'll just be honest, be all the way honest with this. And so, when you hear me, I'm gonna give you the 100% truth, the realness. I don't know any other way. But these young men, we need to reach out and snatch some of them by their throat. And because it's crazy. It's crazy. So I just hear so much stuff with these young men, and like I had a friend of mine who reached out to me week before last, and she says, "Terry, how do I get rid of this dude?" I said, "Get rid of what dude?" We broke up like 6 months ago, but he's still stalking me. What do you mean stalking you? He got a girlfriend. He got a full-fledged family over there, but he's still stalking me. And you let him?
What'd you say?
And you let him? That's the first thing I said was, you let him? Really? Let me tell you something about people. You teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
So if you allow him to stalk you and all that crap, then that's on you. If he's stalking you, I love you, sister. I do. But now you got to take steps to protect yourself. Now, because if he's stalking you and it's to a level of he may hurt you, you need to take steps. Now, if he's just being stupid and just want to stalk, let him do that. You started. Tell him to stop. Get you a boyfriend that's bigger than him and tell him to stop. But these young men have to understand. That's one of the things I hate about this young generation. Fellas, if anybody watching this, if it's over,
it's over.
Let her go.
So many people on this planet. Because ever since I've been on majorly on social media, I had a huge problem with the sexual misconduct in my DMs and stuff. And I remember once I had some friends over to my place, and they were all like alpha males. I was like, you know what? Give me your advice, guys. What do I do about these inappropriate guys? And they all said immediately ignore them. I was like, what? No. I had to call them out. I gotta post their names. Like, what? They're like, no, ignore them. And that's the best advice. Dude, you should see my DMs right now. Like, probably like once a week, once every 2 weeks, I get something inappropriate. But other than that,
I'm sure.
Ignoring is like, because once you ignore them, you're not feeling their fire anymore. And that's what they want. They want you to get mad at them because, like, I don't know, like it's some kind of like power trip in their mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
For a second. Men are stupid.
Oh
no. We are because they see a young lady who is on social media, who is, because you know how you do your videos. You know, you have your present, and so dudes ain't heard. They come in your lives or your videos. They ain't heard nothing you said. All that they see is what's going on extra, and then they want to be in your inbox like you some kind of hoe. See,
yeah,
you're stupid, just like that, and it's so unfair. It's so unfair to you and all the women like you who do videos and who are themselves, and they can't be themselves because you got these thirst buckets who can't control their eyeballs and they
I love it, Terry. Terry, can you come up with a slogan for me?
Gotta do what?
Will you come up with a slogan for me? Because you did it for AD. You did it for Trivial, didn't you?
I got you. I'm sorry, what?
You did Trivials too, right?
Well, I am the possible. No, that's him. No, everything Travail had before he got with Brothers of Legacy, he had it. All his copyright, trademark, that's Travail. So yeah, that's, and now he's Mr. What now. If you watch his videos,
he's Mr. What?
Mr. What? He's done rebranded kind of sort of. But he's Travail has let his personality come through his videos now.
He has.
Is boss. I love that.
Reminds me of, like, do you know who David Goggins is?
Heard the name.
He reminds me of David Goggins.
Yeah.
I want them to like sit in a room together and just like have a staring match.
That's pretty dope. But yeah. I'm so glad you had me on your show. It's pretty cool.
Come up with a slogan for me. Do all your plugs.
All my
plugs.
Oh my.
Let's see. How do you do so much?
How do I do so much? It is.
Do you have a planner? Do you have an assistant?
Well, I try to time everything that I do is in time blocks.
Yeah.
So, like Sundays, I know for a fact Sundays is my social media day. I know I have the show at 6. I have a guest spot, or I have a spot with the Thunder Crew on Periscope on Sunday nights. And so I know I'm doing that. And now I'm with the Young Black Panthers Network and Ordinary People Media. I do my shows with them on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5. Anything outside of that is extra, other than the Brothers of Legacy, which I do in the mornings, that goes without saying. But anything outside of those things are extra. So if you want to follow me, you guys, Terry_Bulls fan on Instagram and Periscope. Okay. Follow the podcast, The Common Sense Show TV, on Spreaker.com. That podcast is hosted by RTF Productions. So meaning I get paid for those. So go on there and download and subscribe to the podcast. He's pulling all of my old stuff now and putting it on, but that will be on Spotify, Apple Music, all those other things. Watch out for the book that's coming here pretty soon.
Wait, when is soon?
I don't know. I don't.
What's it like writing a book? What's it like writing a book?
Difficult. It's difficult because writing a book is you have to put your all into it, or you will if you don't let your brain be in tune with your writing, you'll be off in left field. I'll give you a story real quick before I go. Okay. I'm starting to write a book. I'm writing chapter 1. I'm in chapter 2, and then I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about eating at the moment, and I wanted a hot dog and some fries or something. I can't remember what it was, but because my brain was focused on eating, I'm typing, man, a hot dog with chili and fries would be really good right now. This is what I'm typing.
Did you leave it in there?
And so I go back and I proofread, and I'm like, how in the world did I go from life traumatic to hot dog and fries with chili? I do that. But writing a book is difficult because if you can't keep your mind focused on it, it's hard. It really is hard, but it's rewarding. But I'm getting there. You got to keep your Microsoft stuff paid off so you can keep your stuff. Come here.
Do that again.
There's my guy.
Wow.
There's my guy. Say hey, LT. Say hey, LT. Yeah, and then with him, you know, he's they have him on the autism spectrum, so we're praying for that. And no, don't eat my cord. Don't do that. That's why I got to shorten it now. Stop.
What's the impact you want to leave with the world?
My impact. Get up. Go. This is a good one. I'm gonna answer that one. Get down. Go. Go with your sister. She will be back there with you. All right. So the impact that I want to leave on the world is this: is that I want people to learn how to forgive themselves.
Shut up.
I want people to learn how to forgive themselves.
Wow.
Because a lot of what happens in life is that we haven't forgiven ourselves for what we've gone through.
Yeah.
Okay? So he broke your heart. Okay. She broke your heart. I get it. But at what point do you forgive yourself and say, not one more day am I going to live like this? Not one more day am I going to let the remnants of what happened in the past keep me from being who I need to be?
Yeah.
The impact that I want to leave is that that's my slogan at the end of every show. Forgive yourself, forgive them, and then move on.
I've noticed that you do that.
Because there has to be a level of forgiveness. We got to forgive them. I mean, whatever happened gave us PTSD. Whatever happened took us to the core. It happens. I've been broke. I've been homeless. I've been all that. But I had to learn how to forgive those people and then forgive myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm here. You know, because there's a level of peace and joy that we want to somehow get to in our life. In order to get to that, we got to forgive that dude that cheated on us. We got to forgive that chick that had a baby by somebody else on us. We got to forgive all of that and move on. That's the end.
Why are you so happy?
Oh man, I am happy because I let it all go. I let people go. That made me no good. I let situations go. This is one, and I'll tell you this real quick story. God, we've been here for an hour and some change, but this is.
No, I don't. Dude, you're totally fine.
You're probably trim this. This is what happened. My second wife, I thought that she was the one. I thought that she was going to be. But we broke up. We broke up, right? Some years ago. And I chased her for years in separate places. I was in North Carolina. I was, she was back in Chicago. I looked up, Ashley. And 10 years had gone past. And I'm still holding on to that same knucklehead nonsense.
What?
For 10 years. Because all I wanted to go, all I knew is I wanted to go home. In my head, all I know, I wanted to go home. I looked up and 10 years had passed. And I said, you know what? I can't.
Yeah.
And once I got to that point, I'm done.
And that's what I let it all go now.
I let it all go. And I was like, and now she makes me pretty happy. She gets on my nerves. I don't get it twisted. But she's great. She's great. I love her to death. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay. Any last final words for us?
Excuse me. My last and final words for you guys is love yourself.
Yeah.
Let the love of self be bigger than any fear you have.
You're just giving me so many quotes today.
Yeah. Let the love for yourself be bigger than any fear that you have. Because fear will cripple you emotionally, mentally, will cripple you. And we have to relinquish that fear from our lives. But fear is an acronym for false evidence is appearing real. So it's we have to eliminate those thoughts from our hearts because we can't be where we want to be. I mean, like you, Ashley, You're gonna be a great interviewer. You're gonna get syndicated. You're gonna be on TV.
Oh.
See, that's my prophecy speaking into your life. See, you're gonna be on TV. You're gonna be a social media influencer, and this is and how you got there. The struggle is how you got there. The success comes from the letting go. I want you to catch it. All right. The struggle is the reason why you're there because you were hurt. Something happened in your life, and you just kind of you went. This is an outlet for you, right? But the success that you're gonna gain from it is because you progressed through it. You let the pain go. You said, "I can't anymore with you. We're done." And now look at you. When I see you step on stage at the MTV social media award, I'm gonna be like, I told her. If I'm still around here, God willing, I'm gonna be like, I told her.
You guys are so interesting, and I hope that JaVale and AD and all the other Brothers of Legacy look at this later. You guys are so, I don't know. My example of black men in my family was they were so nice. They were too nice, you know,
Yeah.
way too nice. And then when I got into the real world, just guys and young men in general weren't that way. So I kind of like lost hope, and I turned into this really, really angry, nasty feminist for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when I bumped into you guys, I'm like, this feels like home. This feels like Thanksgiving again. This feels like Christmas again. Because where it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
No.
And that's
you guys are just, or I don't know, maybe you guys aren't real. Maybe I made you up in my mind because I'm going crazy. Maybe.
Oh no. What you see with the BOL is what you get. You know what I'm saying? Because we all come from different backgrounds. Of course, AD, Pastor Bryant, and Dwayne are from Georgia. JaVale's from California, and I'm here in Idaho. So we have different walks of life. We have different walks, but our mission's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it beautiful. And that's the reason why we have the following that we have, is because people know when they come in, they know who's on point, they know who's off, they know who's going to give them the real, they know who's off. I mean, so it's all it is a beautiful thing. We want to help as many men. We want to be as helpful to this world and leave a bigger legacy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all have hopes and dreams of being something. You know, we all have hopes and dreams of being bigger than ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
That was such a bad look. That was such a bad look.
Because my daughter left my baby in the back, and then she takes off through the house like where you going? I don't know. Okay, I'm good now.
No,
but yeah,
okay. Cool. So thank you guys for watching live / watching the replay either in 2019 or in 2025. The internet's so crazy. Can you imagine that people are gonna be looking at this like 20 years later? Scary. Okay. I think that we live in a transition time right now. So I think for a lot of people it seems like scary and very unhopeful. But how I look at it is we're setting the foundation to help people in the future. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it sucks for us a little bit right now. It sucks. Yeah. But we're gonna help our grandkids and our great grandkids. And first, I don't know, it makes me feel like all this suffering is a little worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. With you saying that reminds me of something that Jim Valvano said. I don't know if you know who he is, but Jim Valvano died of cancer some years ago, and he said in one of his speeches at ESPN, and he said, "My advice or what the help that we give now may not help me.
Yeah,
but it's going to help somebody else." And that is what has driven me for a little while there. Because what I may say to people now may not help me, or it may not help them, but it's going to help somebody down the road. So that makes sense what you're saying.
This was so cool. Oh my God, this was.
Oh man,
you're so funny.
Well, you know, I try to make
it
it
more fun in the mornings because I'd be so tired and down. I'm like, ugh.
Well, only reason why I'm chipper in the morning is either I've had a cup of coffee or TJ has slept all night, which is great because if I can get up and not have to tackle him during the course of the morning, I'm good. I can get on. I can concentrate.
What is your morning routine?
My morning routine, I get up at 6:30 a.m.
Jesus.
And so, yeah, because we go live with Brothers of Legacy at 7. Well, we go East Coast time, so it's 9, but it's 7 for me because I'm 2 hours behind you guys.
Ugh.
So I get up 6:30. I get me a cup of coffee. I sit at my computer right here where I'm sitting at now, and drink my coffee, and then we'll go live. AD will shoot out a lineup. He was like, okay, depending on who's on, we'll do that. And then after we get through the Brothers of Legacy, and then, I used to go to work after that, but I don't work anymore. So now, don't laugh at me. And so now I get off, and now I try to get my podcast stuff together, write notes, mental notes, and hopefully I'll start back working here pretty soon, which I know I will because I got a thing on Monday, but I don't want to do it.
Same, bro. I'm so dreading tomorrow morning.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Well, let me say this, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wrap it up. I am so glad that I met you. Even though it was happenstance, it's just I think AD shared a video of yours, and that's how I stumbled upon it the very first time. And I was like, "Yo, she's dope," and not because she had on the FSU sweater, I rep them nose all day. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got cold yet. I got hoodies and stuff, but I'm glad I met you. There's something about you that's extremely special. It's extremely genuine. When I first saw the first episode of the Breakup Diaries, I was in tears. I was like, "What? No, he did not." You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I want you. Here's some encouragement for you. I want you to keep going. Forget them haters. Tell them haters to kick rocks with no socks. You understand? They can't. They got nothing for you. And if there's someone in your life, there are people in your life who cannot go where you're going, go ahead and cut them off now. Save them the trouble. You know what I'm saying? Save them the trouble of leaving on their own. Go ahead and cut them off. You are destined for greatness. This social media thing is just right now, you might think it's just habits, something I do on the weekends. Except this is your livelihood. This is your thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Believe that. Walk on that. I am not just Unto Dragon. I am Ashley Collins, Unto Dragon. And I am a social media influencer, period. That's how you introduce yourself. I am Ashley Collins, Unto Dragon, social media influencer. Now, it's like what I have to do is I have to speak things upon myself. Like I say, somebody said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Terry. I'm the #1 podcaster in Idaho." Sometimes you gotta speak it though it ain't there. That's that thing called faith we talking about. We always talking. I'm the #1 podcaster in Idaho. Probably not true if we pull the numbers, but that's what I believe. What do you believe? Love you, Auntie.
You're so silly. You're so silly. And I really appreciate you. And I really mean it when I say that, like, you guys are like the highlight of my mornings. Yeah, it really puts me in a good mood. Helps me I listen to you guys while I'm putting my makeup on. That's why I don't comment. So I'm like laughing and I mess up on my makeup. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll start over again.
Cause we see you in there, but it was like, "Hey, Auntie." I know what I do anyway. I either type it because it depends on where I see you. If I'm broadcasting and I see you in, I'll say it. If I'm in somebody else's broadcast, I see you in there, I'll type it. I'm like, "Hey, Auntie, what's going on?"
Yeah, and I don't think I emphasize this enough, but like my morning routine is so important for me.
Yeah,
massively important for me.
Yeah.
And like when something like breaks a little bit, I'm like, okay, something needs to like adjust. But okay,
reevaluate.
Long. Okay, cool. Thank you, Terry. This is so. I feel so energized. I really want to go for a run, and my friends tell me be like, "What's wrong with you?"
That's the way it is sometimes.
But, okay, cool. Definitely follow Terry, follow Stalk, whatever, on Periscope / Twitter / and no, yeah, you've been Instagram.
Yeah, I have Instagram.
Yeah, you have Instagram, Facebook. He's everywhere. He's literally everywhere. The Common Sense TV show is. I want to say the word innovative, but it has kind of like that classic feel to it. That classic of like what radio shows are meant to be, and then turn into this pompous, random blurts of like fart noises and stuff like that, and it's just like we're losing the substance in them. And I think the Common Sense TV show brings that back. So definitely check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Because you always do.
For a run right now.
Because you always do. You always do that. It's okay.
Thank you, Terry. I'll talk to you later.
All right, hon.
Tomorrow, either or, regardless. Thank you guys for watching. Be nice to someone because it really, really matters. Talk to you guys later. Ciao.
All right.